were talking about popular taste there.
Should the artist yield to popular taste? Well, now, put a question like that. If the artist feels himself in tune with popular taste, as, for instance, the little Dutch painters did, Teniers and others of his kind, I see no reason why great art can't be made out of yielding to that. It has been. And
what about modern society and modern
I have myself participated in many popular tastes, and I think I've made some good pictures in representing these things. I see no reason why things that everybody likes can't just as well be made works of art as things that they maybe don't like so well. But there, you can't make anything that depends on the individual artist. An aloof or a studious kind of an artist who doesn't like to get out and play in life naturally would not do the same kind of a painting as an artist who tends to like that. You can't imagine, for instance, Michelangelo doing what Teniers did. It's impossible. And yet, when you come right down to it, the work of art itself, it depends on your feeling at the moment whether Michelangelo is greater than Teniers. Teniers is a better painter in many respects and deals with certain kind of forms of light that Michelangelo could not even have thought of. So there are all sides to this thing. And you can't categorically say, as was held for a time in the 19th century, that the great artist is the historical painter, and that the genre painter is a lesser artist, and the landscape painter a still lesser artist, and the still life painter lesser than that, and the decorator of pots still less. Of course, that would put the abstract expressions down at the very bottom of the line. But you can't hold those views absolutely at all times.
Well, I was just wondering what would distinguish something like that from what Norman Rockwell does.
I see what you mean. Now, let's get back to what we said just a moment ago. We know that the work of art, to last, has to have, over and above and beyond the subject matter, it has to have form. That is, all the parts must be related mechanistically, if you will. I mean, they must belong to one another. They must operate in almost like a clock, so that you can't separate one part from the other without damaging the thing. Now, the illustrative arts are not generally arts of form. They merely represent. And you're getting into another field there entirely. For instance, the advertising arts are not likely to be art. Those are simply propaganda arts. And form is not necessary for them because they don't have to last anyhow. Now, I think that Norman Rockwell is a very able person, and I think he's a very good American. He makes pictures of America that are very interesting. But he has never bothered himself with attempting to make a form that would be a permanent form of any of these things. They are more or less like something like a photograph. They're a little better than the photograph because they carry more meaning.
Are they a little sentimentalized, romanticized?
Well, that's all right. I see no particular objection to a sentimental art. What would you want? Look at Boucher, the French painter, and Fragonard, and Watteau. Who could be more sentimental than Watteau? And look at those beautiful paintings that he made. It's the way you do it. And also, it's the unity of the structure. Now, when I say that, that makes me sound like an abstractionist myself, but I am to that extent that I know that unless I have a form in which all those parts are unified as form, that isn't going to stand up as a work of art. And that makes the difference between illustration and painting proper. The case is very marked in the case of Rembrandt and Charles Russell. Both were able to make forms in their sculpture. Neither one did it to paintings. paintings remain illustration. Now, they happen to be very superior illustrations, but you hardly would think of Remington or Russell as a Winslow Homer, because they simply were not able to unify all the factors of the painting. They're held together.
Rembrandt there for a moment.
Huh?
I thought you said Rembrandt there for a moment. I was startled.
No.
It's Remington and Russell.
Yeah, Remington and Russell. Yeah. They are very superior illustrators, and actually in their sculptures they achieve form. There, I think they're both greater artists in their sculptures than they are in their paintings, although the stuff deals with exactly the same subject matter, just the treatment of it. The one is a more abstract, controlled treatment, the other is so purely illustrative. Now, the great paintings have also been illustrative. You take the case of Rubens, or those are all illustrate some subject, and very dramatically, but the way they're unified and held together in one great and massive expression makes them a work of art.
Again, on the Rockwell, I was just merely thinking of the way he more or less reflected popular taste, the way we want to appear, the folksy, warm, sort of America that we like to believe in, which isn't the whole picture.
No, it isn't the whole picture, but that is another thing. I think that a man could reflect all that. The hope be joyful view of the world, and still make works of art, if that other factor comes in. See, in this sense, the artist who has that instinct for form, and that's what makes an artist, if you haven't got that, you can have all the talents in the world, and it still don't do you too much good insofar as making permanent works is concerned.
I'm just worrying about the problem of somehow bringing either society or the artist, or both, in tune with each other.